Hi, I'm Becca, and that's my sister.
I'm Charlie. We thought it'd be a good idea to start off by doing something that we're both very interested in, which is makeup.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd introduce ourselves by showing you what we do every day with our faces.
So we're just gonna start. So we just got our bags of makeup. I'm gonna start.
So we're just starting with concealer, and I'm using the Rimmel London Wake Me Up concealer in the lightest shade because
I'm just using this concealer. I think it's called Royals. It's in the colour 11. Apply that to my under eyes.
actually I'm going to use a mirror because I don't think I can do it without.
Oh, that would be so funny.
And then I don't know about you, but I tend to go around this bit of my nose and then just on any spots that I've got.
No, I do that with my green concealer.
Well, I'm a cheapskate and I only have one concealer, so. And to blend in my concealer, I'm just using the Real Techniques buffing brush.
I'm just using this beauty blender. So yeah. I normally do this wet, by the way. I normally wet the sponge, but I forgot water. What I'm going to do next is I'm just going to get this thin brush and I am going to use this green concealer here for any spots or redness that I have.
And I'm done with concealer now, so I'm going to take my Natural Collection translucent powder and just put it everywhere using the Real Techniques multitask brush.
So I'm just going to put this concealer that I used for my eyes over the top of the green concealer, and then I'm just going to use my beauty blender to buff that in.
I like to use this powder to set my concealer, but also in my T-zone, like I'll wear it when I don't wear makeup just to stop my nose being so oily. I feel like my makeup routine is a lot quicker than yours.
Yeah, I wear a lot of makeup. So now I am going to move on to pressed powder. I've got this one by Makeup Gallery, Smoothly Does It, pressed powder in the colour Translucent 1. And I'm just going to use the Real Techniques buffing brush to put this on.
So moving on to eyeshadow, I use the same eyeshadow palette every single day. This is the Merged Trio eyeshadow. I think it's the baked one in Legendary, which is just these three really glittery colours, and it's quite pigmented as well, which I really like.
For my eyeshadow, I'm just using the 17 Easy on the Eye eyeshadow palette.
I forgot I used the Rimmel London Exaggerate Undercover Shadow Primer just to keep the eyeshadow on all day.
I'm just going to use, out of here, I'm going to use the primer first on my eyes. I'm just going to use my finger to put that on.
And I find that even if you're not wearing eyeshadow that day, that wearing primer really just helps to get rid of the redness and like the veins in your eyes.
Yeah. So the first colour that I'm going to use is this colour here, which is called Gentle Pink, and I'm just going to do that in the inner corners.
And for my first colour, I'm going to do the base, which is the second lightest colour in this, like a rose gold colour. And to do that, I'm going to use the Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush.
Oh yeah, and I'm using the Wilko Smoky Eye Duo brush.
So I'm really just going over the whole eyelid with this. It doesn't have to be too neat at this point because I can tidy stuff up later.
Yeah, just to warn you, mine won't be neat at all.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to blend it all out, So next I'm going to use this like gold colour here, which is called Radiant Gold. and I'm just going to put it in like the rest of the eye and move it into the crease a little bit.
So using the same brush to apply it, I'm going to use the darkest sort of shimmery brown colour just to go in the crease and in the very corner of my eyes.
And then I'm also lastly going to use a mixture of these two, which are toasted almond and baked chestnut. I'm just going to put them in the creases. So to blend this now, I'm just going to use the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and I'm just going to go over it all, using little circular motions.
To make sure that that's not really bold and blocky awful, I use the Real Techniques setting brush just to blend the two colours together. I really love using the Real Technique brushes because I think that they feel great and they do a really good job.
So then, just lastly, I'm going to use this colour here, which is Warm Ivory. I'm just going to use it in the inner corners and just on my brow bone.
Yeah, and to do the same thing, I'm using my absolute favourite eyeshadow, which is by MUA as well, and it's in Oyster. It's this really shimmery white, and I'm just going to use it again in the very corners and then in my brow bone. And I'm going to use the same brush that I used to apply the rest of it.
Oh yeah, I use the Wilco brush again. So next I'm going to use the Academy of Colour eyeliner, and I'm just going to use that to tightline my eyes.
I actually don't tightline my eyes because I'm not very good at it, but the next thing I do is mascara. And at the minute I've been using the Rimmel London Wonderful, which is an amazing mascara. I think it really helps with the length of your eyes, and also apparently it's got argan oil in it, which I guess must be good.
So I'm just going to move on to mascara now, and I am using the W7 Lashtastic mascara, and I'm just going to apply that to. I feel like when I've got mascara on, I feel a lot more awake, and my eyes look a lot bigger.
And I think because we have very light hairs, because we've got ginger hair, like it helps to bring your eyes out a bit more.
So I'm just going to apply the same mascara to the bottom lashes as well.
Okay, so because I'm pretty rubbish at doing my makeup, I've got a little smudge of mascara there, so luckily I'm going to use the Simple Kind of Eyes Eye Makeup Corrector pen, which is like brilliant.
So I'm just going to use the same corrector pen by Simple to go over the bottom lash line where I might have.
For my bottom lashes, I'm going to use the Rimmel London Extra Super Lash Mascara, just because I think it's a little bit less than the top, which is what I like. I tend to use a lot of Rimmel products just because I think they're affordable, but they are good quality products as well.
I'm now going to move on to contouring, and I'm just using the 17 Define and Conquer Contour Kit, and I'm just going to use the contour shade underneath my cheekbones.
Oh yeah, I think we forgot to say that neither of us use any foundation or like base, just because, well, for me, I have a lot of freckles and stuff, and I like them, so I don't want to cover them all up. And I personally don't use any blush because I've got quite red cheeks anyway, and if I use blush I look like a clown.
And I also think when I use foundation, it just makes my skin look really like cakey.
Yeah.
Like I've got a lot of makeup on.
That's probably
It
just
feels-
because we don't know how to do it properly, but rude.
No, but it feels like my face is like wet for the whole day
Yeah.
because it's just got a lot of makeup on.
And then it like cracks and it just looks obvious.
So I'm now going to go back in with the Real Techniques buffing brush just to blend that out to make sure that it's even and I haven't just got a line of contour. So I'm just going to take the Real Techniques contour brush again and go back into the 17 palette with the highlighter, and I'm just going to put this on my cheekbones.
This is a little, I don't know if I should do this, but this is a little thing that I picked up from watching everyone's Snapchats from Coachella, where I think it was Bella Thorne. She does this thing with highlighter where you put it right in your cupid's bow and it kind of, when you're not wearing lip liner, it makes your lips look more prominent. Obviously I don't have a highlighter, but I use this as a highlighter, this eyeshadow, so I just figured I'd do it and it looks nice. So I'm going to take this little Real Techniques brush and just put it right in my cupid's bow, a tiny amount so you can't really see it very much, but it just helps to bring out your lips a little bit.
Never heard of that before.
Well, you should come to my
Sounds
bedroom
cool.
in the morning. Have loads of fun.
I'm actually going to try that as well because it sounds quite cool.
I need a highlighter, like a proper one.
You should get this palette. Anybody who's looking for like a contour palette or anything, I would definitely recommend this palette. I love it.
And then another good place to put your highlighter is just below your lip a little bit, tiny bit. And then straight down the nose. Just a tiny bit. I mean, to be honest, I just make it up as I go along.
I'm just using an eyeshadow brush to make it, to do highlighter. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
So I'm just going to go in with my translucent powder again, avoiding my lips because I don't want to get rid of that highlight that's just been there, just to make sure that everything stays on and stays not shiny.
So I'm just going to go in with the Miss Sporty Just Clear Mascara and eyebrow gel. I'm just going to put that in my eyebrows because I'm ginger, you can't really see them, so just trying to make them more visible.
Yeah, and I do the same thing, even though I don't really need to because you can't even see my eyebrows, but I think it helps for people to be like, oh, you do have eyebrows. So I'm using, this is an awful one, this is just a really cheap 2-in-1 lash and brow tamer.
Isn't it George?
Yeah, it's from Asda.
Fun. And then just to finish off this look, I'm just going to simply use some lip balm. I really, really like the Nivea Essentials Care Lip Balm, which I'm using here. It's just so like moisturising for your lips and it's amazing. I never have chapped lips anymore.
Yeah, and I'm going to do the same with the Baby Lips Hydrate. I love Baby Lips, I think they're great. My all-time favourite lip balm is the EOS in, I think it's raspberry, that we got from America, but I have no idea where it is. So I'm going to use this.
I've got one at home which is, I think it was watermelon, which is the EOS one, and it's lovely. It smells so nice and it's so good on your lips.
Yeah, and I think we both have quite big lips, so we do wear...
My lips aren't that big.
Okay, I have quite big lips. I do wear lipstick quite a lot of the time with lip liner, but not every day, just because I think it draws a lot of attention to them.
And it makes them look really like dressy.
Okay, so this is the finished.
So yeah,
Pretty simple. Neither of us are very elaborate, and we are not. We're not claiming to be good at makeup. This is just how we do it, how we like it.
we're not saying if you don't do these things you're wrong. No, it's just how we like to do it.
So yeah.
So yeah, if you like this video, like and subscribe. And
If you don't like this video,
still like and subscribe. But yeah,
hopefully,
we'll do some more.
yeah, we'll see you again soon. Okay.
Bye.